Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Dracula's Legacy. Let's continue. So, I guess I haven't bothered to mention that there is a disproportionately large amount of hidden object games, simple games, that simply focus around Halloween things like Draculas and vampires and stuff. It's very simplistic, I guess, line of thinking. I guess, let's see. Skeleton of an unknown animal on the ground. If I could wash the ground so I could see it properly. I don't have any new items except for this one thing in this new area. Which means for Halloween month, I'm gonna end up playing a lot of hidden object games, and then probably still play a lot of Halloween themed or Halloween-like themed games throughout the rest of the year too. Most video games, in comparison, while they may have zombies, are just a easy bad guy to have because there's no zombie anti-defamation league running around that has any real power. I bet there probably is a zombie anti-defamation league as a joke. But if you have the bad guys be humans in games, you have to then pick humans that everybody universally agrees are bad guys, that or everybody that you're trying to sell the game to. Furthermore, you can't have Nazis in Germany, so that used to be the go-to bad guy for a while, and even that hasn't really worked out well. So we have olive oil and a corkscrew, and I guess I can go pull this out with the corkscrew. So I assume the reason why there is so many Dracula and simplistic monsters in the hidden object games is because those would be, at least on the face of them, visually interesting to show. I certainly played one where you were just a thief running around, and that did certainly miss something compared to this game and the different hidden object game I played where you were in a fantasy world and you were seeing a bunch of like monsters and trolls and stuff. Just simplistic concepts for a simplistic game. It seems like it makes sense. So washing this away, there's a skeleton with an animal on the ground. I wish I could wash it away so I could see it properly. With olive oil? With a helmet? See, I got water on there. And there's a handle needed there. Let's see. This pinch bar wouldn't work to connect the chain. I think I'm gonna connect the chain and knock the statue over to pull this off. And then the pinch bar won't break the handcuffs. And that's the only thing. I'm gonna try and cheat here when I get to the end of the game if I can, and turn it to advanced mode. That way I might trick it into giving me the achievement for beating the game on advanced mode. Which, honestly, I probably could have beaten the game on advanced mode anyways. The only difference is that the cheats are slightly different here. In fact, I could just turn it on right now, I guess. It just doesn't show you where the things are, so you'd have to click hint more, and then it slowly refills. There's a handle inside that. That's what I was missing. It's jammed. I need to oil it. Well, olive oil isn't oil, but I don't know if that would really work. Alright. So now I can reach this bird's nest. This must have been like a crow or something, picking up all those shiny things. So now I have a key. Is that the handcuff key? Alright, so handcuffs, I suppose, would connect to chains. And then pinch bar. And see, that was more of a 2D cartoon animation versus a 3D thing. How many different art houses did they hire out to do animations? I would hope that's what they did, because it would be even weirder if it was actually one or two people doing all these animations and they were just going wildly in different styles for one project. It's fine if you can do different styles, but in the same project, that makes no sense. There's a small split in it. Can I put the helmet up there and get some water? Something can be installed here. Interesting. It's not the tomb key, is it? Piece of a metal disc. The water is merely icy. Helmet filled with water. And over here is this piece of the key. Oh, there was something over here. Need a key made of two parts here. This feels very Resident Evil. It's just all the keys are made of two parts. The problem is it's just so repetitive at this point. Oh, a dinosaur. Because dinosaur bones would just be right on the surface. Yeah, that makes no sense. There's nothing more to do here, nothing more to do there. So we have to go this way, and then this way. And then maybe I put the tooth in this. And did that drain the fountain? Yes, it did. There's still something that can be installed there. Seems a little weird. Because we've done all these things so many times now, nothing's new, nothing's difficult. There's a small dragon snorting real fire. Need to turn that thing off. And we have a hidden object game again. So on advanced mode, to skip it, it takes a little bit longer, and if I wanted to do a hint, I could do that. Of course, I may have lost an achievement right there for cooking hint, but if that's the case, then I've already lost, because I've almost certainly used a hint somewhere else, if not inside the hidden object games, elsewhere. And oops, didn't mean to click that. Again, it probably doesn't matter enough to me to try and get all the achievements. Steam is always weird about they rank achievements in games in two different ways. If you get 100% of every achievement in a game, that's a 100% complete game, and that's its own special thing. Otherwise, if you get any games at all, any achievements at all, that's just kind of thrown in a big pool. And some games, it's totally doable to get all of them. Some games, there's always like 1 or 2 that says play this on extremely hard mode in less than 3 hours and don't make any mistakes and never die. And when you get down to that level, it's not worth the effort. There we go. So, oops. I think I may have made a mistake here because there's a 2 1 1. Let's see, 2 1 1 2 3 1. Solution's right there. We get the spear. I don't think the spear is gonna work with this. So what would the spear work with? This? There's nothing up here. The ladder is too high, I can't reach it. Ah. So there was a way up to a new area. Need a key for that. So many things need keys. And this is an entire area that is run by vampires. You'd think they wouldn't need all the security. That there's no reason to lock anything. Who would be dumb enough to try and steal something from a vampire? Maybe vampires like to steal things from each other all the time. A block of ice just sitting there? That makes no sense. Sack of flour. There's like a gear probably inside of it. Jar with the sack of flour. Block of ice. The sack of flour. Butterfly. The handle's missing. So I assume what's going on here is there's going to be yet a third different way that is required to defeat this final vampire. Can't go any further back this way. That's as far as it goes. And there's nothing here. And seemingly there's nothing here. And the jar doesn't fit there. The ice doesn't fit there. It's the ice with fire. I guess that gives me a piece. So why not put the jar over the fire and then put the flame out for lack of oxygen? Unless it's creating its own oxygen. Come over here, play this puzzle. So the problem with this puzzle, I can tell you, is it's too small. It's zoomed in quite a lot. Let's see. So I'm gonna have to lean forward into the microphone just to see these dragons. Let's see. I assume these are the solutions. As it is, let's see. That one looks like that one goes there. That one looks like it goes there. That one looks like it might go there. See, we're just getting little snippets of the dragons. So I think that goes there. I think that goes there. That goes there. That one's right. I think these two are right. I think this one's probably wrong. And that one's right, that one's right, that one's right. And that one's right. So this one's the wrong one. Is that the right solution? Let's see. The problem, are these red things supposed to connect in some way? I guess I could just go with a full system here of trying everything. I could also just skip this. See, I'm confused. See what the hint says. Place the dragon stones as they in the appropriate order. Like, you're not gonna give me any more hint than that, game? That doesn't mean anything to me. See, this back end and tail goes back and back forward that way, and no other thing comes even close to that. This one has a head reared back and with a foreleg. There's no other piece like that. This one is wrong. This one has a tail that's curled. This one has this with the curve in the back, so that has to be right. This one has a curled tail, so that has to be right. And this one has that part that has to be right. This one has that part that has to be right. So what am I doing wrong? Like, am I supposed to move these things out of the order and assume that maybe this piece is supposed to be over on this piece and that piece is supposed to be on that piece? That still doesn't really change anything. I really would like to do all these puzzles without skipping. But is it really worth the effort? Could this piece be rotated? If I rotate any of the pieces of paper, it doesn't actually work with anything? Or change anything? And this one is the one that's always the question. Where could this one go? Because it doesn't match. It really, really doesn't match. Is it because I don't see something? Correctly? Could that be it? There's 4 things at the bottom, 4 things at the top. Each bit of information is pointing to its own separate dragon, I assume. Unless it's actually not, and it's leaving this one here, and then saying that this one goes there, and this one. See, this part doesn't make sense then, though. At a certain point, you just have to give up, don't you? Don't you have to just say, forget it, it's not worth it? I think I do. I don't think it's worth spending another 7 minutes here looking for this solution when to my eye the solution has been done. Like, this piece does fit right there, I guess, and kind of fit right there. So maybe if that was there, and then this piece would go there, and then this piece would go there, and this piece. See, it doesn't even work that way. If I was to think that this piece represents these 2 pieces, and this piece represents these 2 pieces. Alright, that works alright. And then you'd have to say this piece overlaps with this piece to connect that. Okay, we've got that. And then you'd have to say this piece works like this, and then this piece goes like this, and then that doesn't connect with this anymore. So that stops working. Unless we did this and this, and then said this piece represents these 2 pieces, which then would put that there. So if for some strange way this was crossing over each other, so this piece was this. This piece was this. This piece was this, which should be that. And this piece was this. And then this piece here. And this piece. And then this piece here and this piece. Yeah, it makes no sense. Again, we're just at a puzzle that the solution is, I'm sure, just some random thing where they've decided it was right. What does this do? This just toggles the inventory. That rose is actually kind of too pretty and too interesting for what it does. We've got to skip. I mean, bye-bye achievements, I suppose, but I mean, it's not worth the time. And again, that mechanism was totally turned off, and I had no idea that that was what was going to happen. That's irritating in its own right. Doubly, I'm irritated by that puzzle. So you would have to pause the screen to see what the solution there was, but obviously so many things moved. It clearly goes to show that I was nowhere close to the answer, and the game was certainly not helping me in any way. Not simply just because I'm in advanced mode either. Let's see, does the dragon work with this? Because it does have that little thing on its side. Let's see. We have a mirror and a glass and a dragon. And that's not gonna work as a handle. Maybe we could use the dragon with this to bake some bread. It doesn't seem like there's anything else in there. Mirror. Feels like we've been in a room very similar to this, if not the exact same room. Passage is blocked by bars. I see no way to remove them. Let's try the mirror on it. That doesn't do anything. And let's see. Jar and dragon. Seriously? Just use the dragon? Alright. I think I can remove the container of its flammable material from the dragon's paws. Is there anything else to click on in this mess? So I need something else now to get that away from him. Let's see, and we're in a hidden object game, and we don't have time for a hidden object game. See, if I could have moved forward without skipping that puzzle, I would have then taken some time to go look at the answer online, which would have been the second time I had done that, and instead I just skipped it, so whatever. Fine. I'm a little bit bitter about it, but not too much. It is a shame this game is losing some quality as we go further along. It started off really good with some great music, and it wasn't terrible in its somewhat simplistic start of the game. Now it's gotten too complicated. It's gone from easy to way too hard because it's just not explaining itself well. We've run into 2 puzzles lately that require just insane solutions that make no sense to me. And that's certainly no fun. Good thing it has a skip mode, but that's built into this engine pretty much. And it's kind of a necessity if you're going to make a game. More game testing on this would have certainly fixed these problems. Anywho, that's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps out. If you want to support me further, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.